crowd's about?
Don't know. Let's find out. Come on, let's move in. Pardon me, sir. What's all the crowd for?
Haven't you heard? Big event of the year. Beauty parade. Most beautiful girls in the world.
Thanks. That's something I know I want to see.
Well, don't look too hard. I'm still here, you know. See anything yet?
Think I see the first car. That must be the Queen. Say, she is gorgeous. Can you see her? Here, move in ahead of me.
Oh, yes, I can see part of her. Oh, she certainly is beautiful. But did you notice that car she's riding in? My, what a stunning car.
Can't see it very well. Oh, now I see it. Say, that is a handsome car. Wonder what make it is. Can't see enough of it to identify it. Must be a brand new model. Oh, what lines. Trim, sleek, and smart. Just seems to glide along.
Well, I must say, that's something. You've forgotten all about the beauty queen, you with your raving about the car.
Let's compromise. Suppose we say there are two beauty queens. One a lovely lady and the other a new queen of the highways. I hope I'm not lacking in chivalry, but the queen of the highways has me intrigued. I want to see more of that car. I believe this is going to be the standout car of the year.
There are few things in the world that attract people as greatly as fresh, stimulating beauty. Beauty never grows old, never fails in its appeal. And in the world of motion, there's nothing that attracts people as a sparkling, exotic design of rare beauty in an automobile, especially a big car with a lot of big changes in it. You know that every new car will run, will have room for passengers, and will be equipped with normal features, so these don't get you excited. But when a stunning new type of styling comes along, its beauty will thrill and attract you. It's when that beauty attracts you that you begin to get interested in its other features. If you're interested in cabin cruisers, you don't waste time looking at tugboats. You want trim, sleek, and smart lines. And if you're an automobile salesman, you want styling that's striking, impressive, overpowering in its appealing beauty. Trim, sleek, and smart styling helps you develop interest, for a sharp new design has a definite merchandising value. Now, good design has to be well-timed. We can all remember certain models that were brought out before the public was ready to accept them. After all, we must never overlook the fact that the most important person in all the world of design is the one who buys the car. Hudson's Design and Styling section is composed of a group of the world's most foremost creative artists, masters of styling and designing. These men have literally scoured the world for the newest and finest in artistic achievement. Hudson's standout new V-line styling for 1956 is not something that casually happened. It represents the development of symmetry and harmony and the matching of colors and fine fabrics that have required years of experience. For example, for sheer breathtaking beauty, where could you find anything in its class to compare with this massive, rugged-looking new grille? Yet with its impressive design of strength and power, note how it combines jewel-like refinement. The intriguing new emblem and crest are ornaments in themselves. They impart a completeness to the ensemble that is unmatched in rich styling. Here are graceful, flowing lines that literally melt into the symphony of this rear body contour. And your heart must speed up its beats when your eyes rest on this achievement of Hudson's master craftsmen. It glistens like fine jewelry, is magnificent in detail, yet practical. For sheer luxury and relaxing comfort, this matching combination of rich new fabrics in soft, pleasing contours and deep, restful cushions makes it a luxurious living room on wheels. Its harmony of colors has never been equaled. There are 17 fabric color combinations offered by Hudson this year. Here's a car that's at home in the most exacting surroundings, whether colonial, classical, ranch type, or the old-fashioned homey type of home. This handsome car is right at home. This fine car complements the most luxurious of surroundings. Whether a dignified formal function, a social gathering at an exclusive club, or a family car for the man who lives on a farm, this car has fitness, rightness. For every detail of this striking new standout V-type styling, has been carefully planned by its designers to match its trim, sleek, and smart exterior lines. As an example, notice these handsome wheels, how they add a note of distinction. Take a close-up look at this gorgeously handsome new Hudson crest and emblem. It stamps this great masterpiece of design as just what it is, a masterpiece. For dignified richness, here's another touch of fine craftsmanship, which identifies the car in a luxurious mood, contributing to its quality appearance. Surely no buyer will ever overlook this gesture of elegance. The refinements seem endless. Everywhere you look, you see evidence of innovations, deep, careful thought expressed in every line of the car. The treatment of this rear fender contour is a typical example. Here you see graceful, smooth-flowing curves. The silhouette provides a satisfying impression of trim, sleek, and smart lines. While low and pleasing, you sense alertness, strength, an impression of movement. Here is purity of line, unmatched in simplicity and beauty. We could go on raving over the fresh, inspiring styling you see wherever your eyes rest on the new Hornet 456, but here's another model that literally makes you exclaim, ah, the new Hollywood hardtop. Exquisite new V-line styling that makes you catch your breath. The deep V theme is evident throughout the entire ensemble of beauty on this gorgeous new model 456. As an added touch, completely new fender fins on the headlights bring a new richness to the styling. The rich gold mesh and impressive chrome paneling form a perfect setting for this handsome emblem and crest, which serve to break the long, trim lines of the body and impart a pleasing decorative effect. And where could you find a more luxurious touch than offered by this harmonious script identification placed just above the rear fender molding? With the chrome fins and tail light, we have a new striking beauty setting off the rear of the car. You can see how the ingenuity of our stylists have provided for backup lights if they should be added. And you'll note a red reflector button representing a thoughtful gesture for added safety. Among the host of refinements, you'll welcome the new chrome door handles for the rear deck, new identification, new key lock location. When an owner has pride in his car, he likes to have it well identified. While we're here, you should take notice of how turning signal lights are visible from the side as well as rear. The trim, sleek, and smart lines of this beautiful new Hollywood hardtop are evident in every handsome contour. Dignified, just enough decoration to set off its own distinctive design. It's well identified. We nominate it as the standout hardtop of 1956. For every detail complements its stunning exterior lines. The motif of the interior styling, with the new V-line symbol expressed tastefully throughout the passenger compartments, represents a new degree of luxury. Deep, soft, restful seat cushions in harmonious, artistic combinations of carefully selected fine fabrics suggest a cordial invitation to enjoy the regal living room atmosphere of this fine car. For here are studied applications of every convenience feature. Optional power window lifts are easy to reach. The generous-sized doors open wide to a full 90 degrees for easy entry. And all about you are provided conveniences for the full enjoyment of riding pleasure. The shapely contours of these inviting 64.5-inch wide seats suggest the deep air foam padding, and they're absolutely free from squeaks, even when a 300-pound passenger plumps down on them, for the seat coil springs are covered with a sound-deadening rubber coating. This is standard on all Hudson seats for 56. In fact, Hudson seats are most unusual. More than just comfortable, they are posture seats, designed to provide the exact angle of back incline to best please you. If you or your passenger would like to lean back partially and relax, or would like to lean away back and do a little napping, the movement of a lever will give just the position wanted. With both seat backs down full, you have a comfortable bed. Think of the hundreds of occasions when this wonderful feature could prove invaluable. Fishing, hunting, exploring, touring, surveying, the uses are numerous. A living room by day, a bedroom by night. Hudson cars offer you this desirable advantage. Now, this is just a detail, but it demonstrates how carefully our stylists have studied the little things. This rich new carpeting of matching shades has a metallic gold thread woven through its design, giving it a distinctively dressed-up look in keeping with its luxurious surroundings. As a matter of fact, it seems that no matter where we look, we are literally surrounded with ingenious and inspiring evidences of innovations and improvements. One of these is the sharply styled trim new steering wheel in matching colors with full horn ring and a good-looking new center ornament. Now, imagine yourself back of this wheel. What visibility! Almost as though you were outdoors. You can actually see all four of the fender fins to guide you on the highway or help in parking. Clear visibility in every direction with 1,100 square inches of windshield area, 1,000 square inches of rear window area. This is a valuable aid to safety. And here's an instrument panel that's a delight to gaze upon as well as to use. No more chasing circles to see your speed. Your eye runs in a straight line with large, easily read figures on this new speedometer. Every needed instrument, and all in clear sight. Here's something else that's new. A hood on the cigar lighter to catch embers that might fall and cause burns or even start a fire. The radio has two dual-acoustic speakers, one at each end of the panel, that give reception a new third-dimensional quality of high fidelity. This is a perfection of tone not found in ordinary car radios. Gentlemen, what a standout car you have in these new 56 models. You can even be the boss of your car's temperature. With the improved exclusive Weather Eye heating and ventilating system, an optional extra, you can have clean filtered air in volume at any time. And you can have it as warm as you like. You can drive in comfort on the coldest day, or you can have gently warmed air on those damp, chilly days of penetrating sharpness. A thermostatically controlled adjustment automatically provides just the degree of warmth you want at all times. And you can also have, with the turn of a single knob, refreshing, cooled air on the hottest days with the new all-season air conditioning system, an optional extra. This system will circulate a volume of cool air throughout the car within a few minutes after starting. Priced as much as $300 less than competitive units, it provides in one combined unit complete control of your temperature. Another advantage of this system is that it does not take up any space in the trunk, as do other units. As a safety, health, and comfort feature, this is one of the greatest values ever offered and will be welcomed by many buyers. There are so many minor refinements. The owner will be constantly finding pleasing new conveniences to add to his driving pleasure. These characteristics are true of the entire Hudson line 456. For example, you'll at once recognize the family resemblance in the glamorous new V-line styling of the Wasp, typical of the distinguished design of the Hornet and Hollywood. Trim, sleek, and smart, it suggests a surging power eager for the open road. Standout beauty, lavish in fine appointments, carrying the distinctive new V-type styling throughout. This entry in the low-medium priced field represents a great value. Tailored for the buyer who is economy-minded and yet who demands top quality, the Wasp offers a modification of the appointments and power of the two leaders in our line. The two-tone effect is at once pleasing and impressive. The deep V is prominent. The panel lines are graceful. The rear end contours seem to float into harmonious, graceful curves. Here is satisfying beauty. The shapely trim, the tasteful chrome decorations, the clear parking and signal lights, the purity of the rear fender lines, the handsome identification. Even the newly designed and brilliantly polished hubcap and the colorful Hudson crest lead one to expect interior beauty. But these gorgeous nylon fabrics with color-matched vinyls or genuine leather are far more richly handsome than one would expect in a car of this cost. For here is a lovely ensemble that suggests a finely appointed living room in a charming home. The extra thick airfoam cushioning of these coil spring seats invites one to sink restfully down into their soft embrace and enjoy every moment of his ride. But let's move up front and see what's new. Here we find a driver's compartment replete with every convenience placed in an atmosphere of subtly harmonizing matching colors. One of the qualities we've never been able to stray from in presenting this stunning 56 series is beauty. We find it everywhere, and it's prominent here in this striking instrument panel design. The grouping of instruments is sensible and provides the most in convenience and visibility. Everything essential has been provided. And some brand new things. Here's one. Used with automatic transmission, when this lever is set at neutral, a slight lift upward operates the starter motor. More convenient than the dashboard type of starter, this is a distinct improvement. With synchromesh transmission, a conventional starter key is used. Owners will appreciate the application of leather texture vinyl on the dash, which substantially reduces glare and reflection. Radio speakers and controls are similar to those on the new Hornet and Hollywood. In fact, your Wasp owners will constantly be saying, just like the Hornet, they'll find so many characteristics in common, and what greater compliment could they offer? For these Hudson cars of today embody the newest and best that engineering skill and expert design can offer. Gone are those days of the horse and buggy and the prairie schooner. Those days of body rattles and squeaks, of body weaving, of ill-fitting doors, of constant tightening. Those days when bodies were bolted to their undercarriage have been replaced by a far better method of mounting bodies on their frame. Hudson is a pioneer in the design and building of fine automobile bodies. Even back in those days when certain body manufacturers were advertising steel alone is not enough and insisted that wood should also be used, Hudson was building all steel, all welded bodies. So Hudson had a tremendous running start on other bodybuilders and learned a long time ago what was required to make a body rigid and strong and quiet and keep it from twisting and weaving on its frame. The result was inevitable. It was unit construction, body and frame, all of steel electric welded together into one strong, compact unit. Battleships and tanks, two of the strongest units in the world, used this method. So Hudson developed the strongest and quietest body and frame construction in the world, known as double-safe, single-unit car construction. The result? A body and frame of more than twice the strength of any competitive bolted assembly. Greater passenger protection, far greater. More safety. Rattles and squeaks and annoying body noises are eliminated. Doors and windows fit perfectly. Here is a quiet body, a perfectly insulated body. A new driving comfort was born because engineers were able to provide a more stable base for suspension. The power line was better stabilized, and many related operating functions were improved. Many advantages resulted. One was maneuverability, the ability to get through and out of and around traffic quickly. Safety often depends upon the driver's ability to avoid difficulties. Many accidents are prevented by being able to quickly maneuver a car out of the trouble zone. Today, Hudson enjoys the ability to turn in a shorter diameter than any car in its class by a substantial margin. One of the popular large cars, for example, requires a diameter of 45 feet 9 inches, whereas a Hornet requires only 42 feet 8 inches, actually over 3 feet less. The Wasp requires only 39 feet 3 inches. Only one make of competitive cars can turn in a shorter diameter, and this has a very slight advantage. This car is in the lowest price field, with a much shorter wheelbase than the Wasp. And while we're talking about performance advantages, you must have thrilled to Hudson's silky smooth riding qualities. But did you wonder what made this possible? Well, Hudson employs a deep coil suspension system, which by actual test gives a ride 3 times better and softer than the conventional type of springing other manufacturers use. And while you're exulting to the smoothness of Hudson's riding qualities, you must have also been impressed with your freedom of movement. You have room to stretch out, to straighten up, to move your hips and elbows, and plenty of room for your head, because Hudson's bodies provide more room for more comfort. Even in the luggage compartment, there's more space than the average family will ever require, enough to take care of those unusual times when there's an extra load. And now we come to that important subject of power. But let's ask, what does power mean to the typical owner? Is it something expressed in cold figures like so many horsepower? Having more horsepower doesn't necessarily mean having more performance. A heavy car with 150 horsepower won't give much response. A light car with this much power would just literally spin its wheels. The engineers of a popular make heavy car recently stated that 7 additional horsepower in their motor would only increase the top speed of the car by 1 mile an hour. So when we talk about performance, we must consider the job the power is called on to do, the weight it must move. It's the ratio of power to weight that's the important factor. What does it mean when you tell your prospect you have twin H power? When you say the Wasp has 120 horsepower with 130 horsepower optional, none of this means as much as a good road demonstration. You can't describe performance. You've got to show it and prove it. For one thing, different people have different ideas of what they want in performance. An elderly couple will not want the dash and verve the youth will look for. Only by driving and riding in the car and testing out its performance attributes can a buyer fully appreciate the ability of the car to perform. A mere recital of the fact that the Hornet for 1956 has 220 horsepower doesn't paint a picture of what that can mean. Because a car's horsepower rating is a relative thing and other factors have to be considered, you must get your prospect to drive, to see for himself the unequaled performance qualities the Hudson-built car offers. Now, we've talked about the ability to go, but it's just as important to be able to stop, sometimes more important. Both are vital safety factors. Hudson employs oversized brakes. Furthermore, they are the finest made, Bendix Duo Servo type, which means that the momentum of the car helps apply the braking pressure. This calls for a very light braking pressure. Front-wheel brakes on the Wasp have been increased 10 square inches in total lining area. With a generous reserve on all wheels, this means a tremendous braking power, and this ample reserve power is true on all models. But is this enough? It's enough for other makes of cars, but suppose the hydraulic pressure system should spring a leak. You'd be completely helpless with no brakes. So all this braking area wouldn't mean a thing. You'd be completely helpless with no brakes at all. This couldn't happen in a Hudson. Both Hudson Hornet and Wasp models offer the greatest braking safety in all the world, the only cars that provide it. Even if your hydraulic system should fail, your car would come to a sure, safe stop. You have positive protection in a Hudson. A reserved mechanical linkage takes hold automatically when your brake pedal reaches a certain point. So if your hydraulic system were to fail, all you'd have to do is to keep pressing down on your brake pedal, and you would automatically apply your mechanical linkage. We call this Hudson's Triple Safe braking system because we have the standard foot and hand emergency brakes, and then we have this reserve linkage in case of hydraulic failure. This is an exclusive Hudson development, and if nothing else on the entire car appealed to a buyer, this one great protective feature would alone be a full justification for its purchase. If you were suddenly to find yourself heading for a crash with no brakes, what would you give for this ability to stop quickly? With a body and frame combination 3 times stronger than the conventional type, with a shorter turning diameter and ability to maneuver faster, with a wider range of clear driving vision, with a large reserve of power for emergencies, with a mechanical reserve linkage to provide against hydraulic brake failure, the new 1956 Hudson is America's safest car. Hudson is also America's quietest car. Its all-steel, all-welded single-unit body and frame prevent annoying body noises. Deep, quiet, frictionless coil springs, possible because of Hudson's torque tube drive, which absorbs road shocks and driving strains. Attention to even the most minute detail which could develop noise, such as coil seat springs, which are rubber-coated, have all contributed to making Hudson one of, if not the, quietest car in the industry. This is the view of the Hornet most motorists will see. With the Hornet's new V8 engine delivering 220 eager horsepower, or the National Champion 6 with twin H power delivering 175 horsepower, or the comparable power units for other models, owners will enjoy an excitement of flashing performance and ease of handling that cannot be described. A car of 1,000 refinements, A car of youthful, impressive, inspiring V-line styling. An overall effect of massive ruggedness, yet low and lithe and sleek. With distinctive color-matched interior luxury unexcelled in richness and beauty. Complete in appointments that ensure convenience and comfort in every respect. These standout new models for 56 represent outstanding value. Each a masterpiece in its class. Cars you can sell with confidence and pride.